This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This...
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, Get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir, it is Friday. We are here. Sorry, a little late, but we are here. A little traffic on the Pembroke on the way here, so we got here a little late, started a little late, but, you know, that's how it goes. The great Sean Stanley is driving the program. We're out here at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Was just talking to the great Larry Schlossberg right now. I'm looking at the brand new ZDXs right in front of me where folks can get electrified. I see a black one. I see a beautiful blue one. I see a white one. There's a red one inside in the showroom. It's awesome. Awesome. Can't wait to get my ZDX. I will. Early next year, I want to get my ZDX. All right, man. Welcome aboard on a beautiful Friday, and we are ready to rock and roll. By the way, David Furones will join us at 10:30. Manny Navarro will join us at 11. We got the market moving a little bit. We got the Dow is up 247 points. The S&P is up almost 29 points. The NASDAQ is barely up, just a tad. And then, of course, on the crypto side, Bitcoin is approaching 62,000. It's at 61,782, up 2%. So the market bouncing back. Nice to see. Solana is up over 4%. So I like it. Star Atlas moving up almost 5.5% actually. I like it. And Polis now starting to move a little bit. There we go. Injective Protocol up 5%. So things are moving. Things are moving in the crypto market and in the stock market. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. We'll have another edition of the Crypto Bro Show. Don't forget, you can catch all the other shows. Today's what is it? Episode number 7, I believe. 8. Today's episode 8 on the show. So we will have it for you, and we'll give you the latest on crypto and the market and Bitcoin and everything going on. We got a bunch of good stuff on it too. I got a couple of nuggets on it, so we'll have some fun. We always do. We always share some stuff to enlighten, and hopefully, this is what it is. It's an information segment, not an investment, because we are not investment, experts here. We're not financial experts here. And of course, our contest is going on, and you have to Sunday at midnight. And by the way, the only people that know are the people that truly listen to this show. I haven't put it on social media because I'm not. Okay. I've only done it during the talk show. So really, the hardcore people are the only ones that have an opportunity to win this prize. So less people than you think will be getting in it, actually. And that's a good thing, because I figured, if I'm going to do this contest, why am I going to put it on social media and people that aren't listening, or, maybe they only listen to a certain segment that Sean puts up or something, but the people that are hardcore listeners to the show, that actually really listen to the show, not just segments, they're the ones that are pretty much the only ones in the contest. And that's a beautiful thing. It's nice to see, because you see the names come through in all the emails, and you kind of know, okay, these are the hardcore supporters. And we are giving away 9 Big O Show shirts and a hat to the person that nails the number of ums and ahs from Mike McDaniel and all his press conferences starting on Monday through Sunday. So on Monday, when they start the fresh week for Indy, which we will be traveling, by the way, we'll be leaving on Saturday to Indy, next Saturday, that is. From next Monday, okay, which is 12th, the 14th, okay, on Monday the 14th, all the way through post-game Sunday after the Colts, all 5 press conferences, right? He has probably during that week. So it's 3 or 4? Okay, 4 or 5, whatever he does during the week. Sean will tally the ums and ahs. You have to make that guess, but you have to make that guess by Saturday midnight. After Saturday midnight, no other entries will be accepted. Sunday midnight, I'm sorry. So you have until Sunday midnight to send in to Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Only on the Yahoo email. not on the chat board or anything like that. Send your full name, your address, and your cell number. Okay, so we can contact you if you win. And the total numbers of ums and ahs in those 5 press conferences he has over the week. That's what you have to guess. Sean will count them up during the week. And then on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, when he has the total on Monday or Tuesday, because we're traveling also on Monday, so maybe Tuesday, he'll have the total, and then we'll reach out to the winner. If there's a tie, then you guys will split the prize. I doubt there'll be a tie because it's not like, millions of people are going to get into it. Plus, I'm not putting it out on social media. Only the hardcore people that actually really listen to the show are really the only people that are going to be in the contest. So it's a cool thing. Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. And I think I'm going to start doing any contest like that and try to stay away from the laziness, because somebody on social media is lazy. They're not even listening to the show, or maybe they listen once in a blue moon, or they don't listen at all, but they follow on social media, and then I got a chance to win. And I want to do this during the show, and that way the people that really listen to the show, those are the people that really deserve a shot at winning it, because they're the ones that are constantly supporting this show in every way possible. And Sean and I really appreciate that. And remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And of course, we tell you that because you can make a super chat here on YouTube, but they take away 30% YouTube. So we only get 70% of the donation. That's why we tell you Cash App or Venmo, because we get 100% of the donation. All right? There we go. And speaking of that, on Venmo, want to thank Daniel Florentin. Thank you, sir. He says, best place to get Dolphins news and updates. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you, sir. Thank you for the little love on Venmo. Always appreciate it. All right. What do we have here? Oscar Rojas is number 1 in Melbourne. Jamie Zoria in San Jose, smashing that like button. Don't forget, please, smash the hell out of the like button. Ray Sosa's in. That was a tough Panthers game. Yeah, they lost 3-1 last night. But I gave you a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. I told you to take the Lynx plus 6.5. Did I not? I made up for it. And I made up for it big, Sean, because I took them at 6.5 to start the game. And then starts what? The live. And the Liberty took a big lead on the Lynx. I don't know if anybody was watching. And so all of a sudden, the Lynx were getting 14.5 points. I tripled my bet there. Tripled it, dude. I said, no, dude, no. Lynx are going to come back. They're going to make this a game. I wasn't even sure they're going to win, but I knew that they would make it a game and keep it tight. Hell, they won. They came back and won the game, dude. Okay? Nafisa Collier had that the game winner, that turnaround jumper. She reminds me so much of Francis Savage. That turnaround jumper she hit was very Francis Savage-like from UM. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 6 blocks. You think Nafisa Collier was working it? Yeah, I think so. So the Lynx beat the Liberty 95-93. It's not so much that I'm excited so much about the WNBA, just excited that I got some free Bitcoin last night. Because I won. I pulled out the money right away, and I said, let me buy some Bitcoin with it. By the way, it's the Bitcoin I bought last night is already up, which is, nice. Actually, Bitcoin's moving right now, which is good. And by the way, you could use those QR codes there on Cash App and Venmo at Cash Big O Show. But anyway, we actually, came through for you on the WNBA side. Okay. So there you go. Sucked about the Panthers last night. I did not watch one bit of the NFL game last night at all. I didn't watch it not 1 second at all. I had the Panthers game on, and then I had the WNBA game on the side, believe it or not. I had money going on it, man. I felt good about the Lynx. So what can I tell you? I'm into making money. If you're not into making money, I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? One-Eyed Jack is in. Hoping everybody has a great Friday. Christian, Gus, J-Town, John Padilla checking in from the Big Bay area out in the West Coast. And NorCal is trimming. The girls is a sticky mess, but it smells great. Wake and bake. NorCal has like 6-foot weed trees in his house. Jay Slim, Joseph, true Finn fan, enjoying his last day off. There we go. Enjoy it, my brother. John Padilla, San Jose Sharks are coming after the Panthers title. All right. Vamos Gatos in. Skylar Tipton. Andrew Harris wants to fire Chris Greer. J-Town, when someone asks me for my phone number, I recite Welt and Rayums, 954-966-4646. Damn right. It is an easy number to remember, 966-4646. Super easy number to remember. Does anyone know if Josh Allen is playing this Monday? I think so. I haven't heard anything that he's in concussion protocol. The guy went back in. They put him on concussion protocol now. It would be a real, investigation. It would really get crazy. They can't put him on it now. They put him back in the game. So that would look really bad. I think that happened already once. I think it happened to a Dolphin that they put back into the game, and then he went on concussion protocol or some shit like that. I forgot who it was. And it'd be a bad look. NorCal says, Skylar, I think Andrew just means Greer is working as a volunteer at the local fire department. Oh, man. Kyle Cockrell's in the house. Lucas says, what do you think of Weaver so far? I've never seen Miami's D give up so many big runs. He doesn't have a lot of D linemen. You know what I'm saying? So he only has a couple that are really elite, and that is Sealer and Campbell. So there was a whole bunch of rotational players. The defense is not very good right now at times, but they haven't necessarily been a real problem. A couple of weeks ago, they did the job for you to win. It was the offense that was more of the problem. I know that the last 2 weeks it's been kind of ugly, but I'm going to treat Weaver with some kid gloves right now because I don't think he has everything. Plus, it's still early in the season. Jay Slim says, I will only send Cardano. Bitcoin is for daughter. There you go. Or you can send Ethereum. There's nothing wrong with sending Ethereum. And you can make a donation also, Jay Slim. We'll convert it to Bitcoin. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? If you send it on Cash App or Venmo and you send the donation, I could just convert it to Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So really, when you make a donation, there's a good chance I convert it to Bitcoin. So you're really, no matter how you make the donation, if you make it in cash or you make it in Bitcoin, there's a good chance that it became a Bitcoin donation. You see what I'm saying? So that's all. It's not a big deal. Big O, do you think Crossman has not? No, he hasn't been fired. Of course he hasn't been fired. I told you that none of these guys are going to get fired. I don't even think anything will happen in the offseason right now. Let's see what happens when Tua comes back. Because if they get on a roll and start winning games, everything will be forgotten. I know how it goes. So I don't really expect any changes at this moment. Aquavision is in. Lucas says Liberty have yet to beat the Lynx. No, I think they're 1-2 against the Lynx this year. I want to say they beat them once. I think they played. Look it up for me. I'm pretty sure the Lynx went 2-1 against the Liberty this year. Now 3-1 with this win. But I think the Liberty did get one. Lynx got 2 out. I think they had 3 meetings. I think more often than not, you face the teams like 3 times in a season. I think it's something like that. I think that's how it goes. You might be right, but I want to say the Lynx were 2-1 against the Liberty, and now 3-1 with this win. I think. Not sure. You might be right. We'll look it up now. Let's see. Ocala Joe is in. Says, beautiful morning here in horse country, 64 degrees, smashing the button. Thank you. Please hit the hell out of that like button. Oh, you think the fish season is over? No, not at all. Not at all. Not yet, man. Not yet. Got to wait for the whole Tua thing when he comes back, and then we'll see what kind of a crazy roll they can get on. If they can even get on a roll. And then we'll find out if the season is over. But that's ridiculous right now. What do you think about the Tyreek trade rumors? Have you been listening to the show? Didn't you do a rant on that? On the Tyreek thing? Yeah, I already answered that. I already answered that crap on the show, dude. Big O, the change I hope for is for McDaniel to stick with the run. Well, we'll see. We'll see. How does this storm compare to Andrew? Completely different in the sense of the storm surge, where Andrew was more of a wind event that destroyed. I mean, it walloped Homestead. So that's where I would say it's much different. The last couple of hurricanes, Helene and now Milton, they really, put a damage because of the water damage that they created, the storm surge. That's really where it was different, I would say. I'm not in St. Pete, but seeing the video and everything, yeah, the storm surge from Andrew, it was bad. I mean, there was some stuff that came ashore. I remember a big-ass ship that came ashore where the Burger King building used to be down there. It was a big-ass ship, dude. It was like a 150-foot ship or something that made it to land. So you could tell the bridge was pretty big at that moment there. But overall, from what I can tell up the coast, it just looks like the storm surge overall was much worse, whereas Andrew looked like it was a wicked wind event and tornadoes and all kinds of stuff because of all the houses that were completely leveled. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 2-1, right? Yeah. See, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was right. Liberty did win 1. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure when I broke it down yesterday, I said it that they won 1 out of the 3, and so I felt like the Lynx getting 6.5. I felt like you got to take Minnesota plus 6.5, and if you did, you made some money with me last night. And if you stayed on the live line and took plus 14.5, then you made a lot of money. A lot of money. That was nice last night. That was nice. That was nice last night. It's always nice to make money. It's nice to make money. That's a good thing. All right, let's go. He's ready? All right, David Furones, the one and only David Furones, and our Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayon Miami Dolphins report with David Veronis is in session.
Welton Rayon has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Veronis.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Veronis. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Yeah, doing all right. Friday appearance here. Obviously thankful that
week, nothing going on. Bye week, yes. Friday appearance.
Yeah, exactly. Usually these would be a little Thursday, later Thursday. Check in on the injury report, preview a game. Had a nice night out last night. And thankful that this hurricane didn't really hit us too bad. We only got some tropical storm force winds in some parts, but also thoughts with everyone on the West Coast. I got family and friends out there who are just kind of recovering from all the damage that was done out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I checked in with a bunch of folks that I know over there, and everybody's all right and cleaning up and stuff like that. We got lucky down here. The only people that got walloped were a couple of the people that faced those tornadoes. That was our storm. Those few tornadoes that landed, those 4 tornadoes that landed, that was our entire Milton pretty much, because the rest of the stuff was bullshit. It was just some wind, a couple of drops. We didn't even get a lot of rain.
No, I was surprised.
All the moisture got sucked up to the north end of the storm, so it was great. We didn't even really get rain. I thought we would at least get rain and some wind. I didn't think we would get much because we were too far out, but we didn't even get the moisture, bro, which was, absolutely fantastic. But obviously our friends in the West Coast, Central Florida, and the northern part of the coast too got walloped, because I've got friends all the way up in Flagler Beach.
Yeah,
and I was checking with Scotty up there, and they got their share of damage too up there. So yeah, because as it went through, then the waves were coming in on them, because obviously the wind was whipping around and then sending the waves into the east side of Florida, man. That was bad, but we got lucky down here in a big time way. People keep asking, but if they were going to fire Danny Crossman, it would have been on Sunday or Monday. So I don't know why people keep waiting for it. It's just kind of silly. They're not going to fire anybody, bro. And I know people want to fire Chris Greer, and they want to fire Mike McDaniel, and they want to fire Danny Crossman, and they want to trade Tua Tagovailoa and all that kind of stuff. And they want, it just none of that is going to happen, bro.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people with a lot of extreme opinions when the team is losing. And now, if they would have gotten to 1-4 into this bye week, then I could have seen a lot of shit going down. But and even then, it's still kind of like outside of the real realm of possibility. I wouldn't see Mike McDaniel doing it midseason that way during a time when Tua Tagovailoa is out missing games. Good for the Dolphins that they got that win and survived against New England. So you get some momentum going into the bye. You did a few things right, like you got Tyler Huntley operating the offense a little bit better. You got the run game going. You only have one more game without Tua. So you could get all these things building. And then now on the topic of special teams coordinator Danny Crossman, yeah, if it would have happened, it would have been done quickly early in the week. You get the bye week plus the following one to either go with your assistant special teams coach Ronnie Bradford as the interim there, or I don't know if a move to the outside would have been really feasible just mid-season like that. But tough sledding for that special teams group in New England. You have the missed field goal. You have the botched snap just rolled back there by Blake Ferguson. You have a block punt. Duke Riley misses the block to give it up just 6 days after he almost had another special teams blunder with a turnover. And that's one of your more reliable special teams players. And he's out there not prepared for some basic special teams plays. So for Danny Crossman, it was good that the team or his unit recovered in the second half, had a couple field goals that were good, got the team back into it. So then the touchdown was to go up by a score. But, boy, I mean, you cannot leave points on the field the way they did in that first half.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, listen, they got lucky they're playing the sorry-ass Patriots.
Yeah.
That allowed them to make all kinds of mistakes and still, overcome. The good thing is that at least the youngin looked a little bit more comfortable, and they ran more of an offense, especially in the second half when they stuck to the run in that drive. That, to me, is what I want to see more. And as I told you in the first game earlier this week, I need to see Huntley run more, too. I think how you got to find a way. You have to find a way to go 3-3. If you can do that, and by the way, that'll be good for McDaniel as a coach. That without Tua, he bounces back and wins the last two there to get to 3-3. That would be absolutely phenomenal for McDaniel. But I'd like to see the run game a little bit more.
Absolutely. I was just writing how this team really needs to stick to the run, both while Huntley is the quarterback and then also when Tua comes back. I mean, I think even that first game back, you don't want to put too much on his plate against Arizona, which, by the way, Arizona, that kind of gives me those memories of that 2020 game, his really first big breakout game. It was his second start that COVID year. He got the win against the Rams, not really doing much, but then he kind of dueled against Kyler Murray in that second game on the road. So this time it would be at home, but assuming he is back for that one, yes, I want to see the run game going. I want to see Tyler Huntley incorporated into the run game in this next game against the Colts when they play next week. I would love to see that. Like, just add another dimension. And I know it's only one game, so how much are you really adding for just like 1 week? But you have 2 weeks to prepare for it. So I would love to see if Mike McDaniel devises a lot of things to get him incorporated. And also, I mean, we've looked at this schedule and kind of worried about, well, you can't fall too far back early, and you got to get these wins against these weaker teams, which stands true regardless. But now looking toward the latter half, you sort of thought about those 2 games against the Jets. Well, now they just fired their coach. Granted, they can get to first place in the AFC East if they do win this week against the Bills, which is kind of shocking for a team that just fired its coach. It speaks more to the timing of that move, too. But if they start a downhill decline, you have the 49ers who just won last night, but they started off at 2-3, got to 3-3 with a win against Seattle. Cleveland looks absolutely horrendous right now at 1-4 with Deshaun Watson and whatever he's doing over there. Whereas, that was a playoff team last year. You were thinking about them. The Rams, are they really all that tough now? They might get some of their guys back, their wide receivers back by the time the Dolphins play them. But a lot of those games that maybe you thought were a little bit tougher when the schedule first came out, maybe not so much. So that later half of the schedule still could be something that the Dolphins could take advantage of. But you definitely got to get to 3-3 at the point when Tua comes back and win that game against Indianapolis.
Man, that Watson contract, huh? He molests women and an NFL team. That's talent right there. Not the kind of talent most of us want to possess, but molesting women and an NFL team is exactly a real disturbing talent. Let's put it that way.
I'll tell you what, as much criticism as fans want to throw at the Dolphins, that dodged a huge bullet there.
Yeah.
Can we all, even the ones who are most down on everything the Dolphins are doing, can we all please agree? The Dolphins dodged a major bullet avoiding that Deshaun Watson saga.
Hold on a second. We still have morons, and they chime in on the chat board or whatever, or on Twitter. Oh, well, maybe we should have kept Brian Flores. The guy that didn't know Tua was his best quarterback on his own roster, and the guy that wanted a rapist as his quarterback. That guy. I know he's a good defensive coordinator, but then they go to the next extreme, like he actually was a good head coach or something, or good with people, or good with offense, or could build an offense, or even knows what a quarterback looks like. So, I still get those, and I'm sure you get those emails too about Brian Flores or on Twitter, and it's like, yeah, that's the guy that wanted Watson. Yeah, that guy.
Right. Yeah, that's the key distinction is a coach as a head coach and then as a coordinator. A lot of coaches are elite coordinators, and Brian Flores is proving that right now with the Vikings. I mean, the way he's got that defense playing. But a head coach has so many other job responsibilities to build a staff, to develop trust and in his players and develop them, build them up. So Mike McDaniel has proven to do a better job with his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa,
and staff, and
the way he's built a staff. I mean, I know now he's on his third defensive coordinator. He was stuck with his first one. Josh Boyer was a holdover. Vic Fangio was the guy he wanted, and then that didn't work out in over 1 year. Now he's got a good one in Anthony Weaver. Questions about Danny Crossman, who has also been a holdover, but still hasn't made a move. McDaniel is tying himself to Crossman when it comes to these special teams results because he has had chances to move on from him. But his offensive staff all been consistently there. They've been hit with some adversity to start this season, but you've seen a lot of the benefits of this offensive staff these first 2 years. And I do want to see how this offense comes together again once Tua comes back and that staff gets everyone together.
And by the way, you can see it there, but just in case if you're listening on the podcast, you can follow David on Twitter at @DavidFuronis_. And by the way, the obvious is, we want to see them stick to the run. And as you mentioned, stick to the run also when Tua gets back. But you know what I'd also like to see? Stick to Jonnu Smith also, bitch. Come on, let's go. Use Jonnu Smith. Let's go. I saw him more in this last game. I want to see him more for Tyler Huntley, and I certainly want to see him more for Tua Tagovailoa. So besides the running game, give me more FIU Panther.
Was that bitch insertion it wasn't directed at anyone? It was just a general.
No, it's just one of those. It's
a general, right?
Yeah. It's what's that show? It's
like I'm Rick James, bitch, like Chappelle.
Like a Chappelle. It was just my Chappelle moment. That's all it is. It's just a Rick James, bitch.
Yeah,
that was just my Chappelle moment. That's all it was.
Give the ball to Jonnu Smith, bitch.
That's it. That's it. Get the ball to Jonnu, bitch. That's it. Just it's my Chappelle moment. That's all.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. We've been screaming it this whole time when Jonnu hasn't been getting the ball, and then you saw sort of not only the run game going, but just got the ball to Tyreek Hill, got the ball to Jalen Waddle, spread the ball, getting Jonnu Smith finally incorporated. I know we didn't see all the different variations of the package. I think they tried to give it to him on a run and it didn't work. And actually, Jonnu could have had more in that Patriots game. He got open over the top corner route, like 20, 25 yards down the field. Tyler Huntley threw it over the corner to get to him. And Jonnu just he didn't really lift too much. Ball went off his hands. I actually asked him about it. He said he was a couple plays earlier, he banged the knee against someone, and then he wasn't trusting it to lift so much. So maybe if he gets up a little higher, he's more comfortable on that catch. I mean, it still hit him in his hands, but I know he's not making any excuses for dropping it. But he could have had maybe a 100-yard game if he comes up with that one, and maybe another one somewhere.
And let me tell you again, the obvious is I want to see the run. The other thing is I want to see some more Jonnu. But when we go back to the run, I think what you saw this past week is Jalen Wright brings a different dimension besides speed, like Mostert and like Achane. And if you need more punishing runs and tougher yards, I think Jalen Wright is the guy that you're going to have to turn to a little bit more in that three-headed monster.
Yeah, I like that idea, that physicality that he brings. Because and Mostert can't, for a speedster, he can run with some physicality. He breaks tackles. We see that often from him, but he's not a true physical, bang him, into the line of scrimmage.
He's injury prone, bro. And he's injury prone. So, you really don't want to use him in those kind of situations. You want to use him on the first downs and second downs, right, and keep him out in the wide open field where he can make people miss and get some big yards. But maybe on some of those tougher yards that you need to grind, I think I'm going with Tennessee's finest.
Yeah, especially with this team's short yardage struggles in the past. I mean, he's a guy that you can go to in those cases. And, Alec Ingold has provided someone, too, as the fullback that you can turn to plunging in for that touchdown and other short yardage success that he's had earlier this season. So I like that. Yeah, bring some physical presence in between the tackles. And, you mentioned Raheem Mostert, 19 carries, first game back from a chest injury where he had, was it torn cartilage, the two SC joints that were hurt, or fractured cartilage, I should say. And I mean, 19 carries that first game back because Devon Achane went down with a concussion. They put more on his plate. They were running the ball so much between him and Jalen Wright, who got 13 in his own right. But yeah, that was a big workload. So good for him that he made it through that game. Okay, he said he was feeling fine when we talked to him this bye-week Tuesday media availability that we had in the locker room, and now he gets the bye weeks to sort of recover off of that. So good to see that from him. But yeah, you don't want to run him into the ground too, for sure. So yeah, I do like the idea of Jalen Wright, go three-headed monster in there. That other dimension, because a lot of running back duos, more traditionally, it's the one power guy, one speedster. Whereas the Dolphins' top two guys, it's two speedsters,
right?
Which has worked well. It's the Dolphins have run well with the two last year. Sometimes Mostert missed a game, sometimes Achane missed a game. But when you have all three healthy, then yeah, I would love to see a situation where all of them get 10 to 12 carries and you are running the ball 30 plus time, kind of distributed somewhat evenly between the three.
Yeah, and listen, dare I say, because this kid's not big. Not considered a big back, but he does run with power and anger, and that's Pacheco. And when I look at Wright, I say he's got a little Pacheco in him. And that's what I kind of like out of Wright, that he brings a little bit of a hammer that I don't think the other two guys have. And so since you didn't want to keep Chris Brooks, then this is the one guy that maybe can do that outside of Alec Ingold, obviously, who's a fullback. And he's going to be running into because he's got a head like an anvil. So, it's different. But I just see a little Pacheco inside Wright, and I want to use it a little bit more. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that probably speaks to some of the comfort in moving on from Chris Brooks, too, not feeling like you need to have him push through injury or use a roster spot or even practice squad in this case.
Yeah. How are they doing injury wise going into the bye?
So the guys that we had noticed beforehand. So what was it? All right, we were dealing with Jalen Ramsey had that one issue pop up, and then he missed the practice coming back from the bye on Tuesday. So I think just he was still able to obviously play every snap in that game. So he was fine. Obviously, Devon Achane recovering from concussion. So bye week comes at a good time for him, because if he ends up on the same timeline as a Kendall Fuller or Teron Armstead, then he could presumably come back for this first game coming off the bye. Obviously, Javon Holland is going to have to miss this upcoming game. Maybe Jordan Poyer, but if not, they might be down two safeties, and it's Marcus May and Elijah Campbell, the duo that finished that Patriots win on the back end. So aside from that, those are some of the main ones. I think Malik Washington was still nursing his quadricep, but obviously he's able to go for the amount of snaps that he's playing. So David Long, I know we did not see him that Tuesday bye week practice, so he made it through the game fine with the hamstring, but still good to nurse that. So I think that's most of them. Kendall Fuller was another one. So we'll have to see what they officially list him as when they practice next week, because I'm sure he's receiving treatment for it, but he was able to come back into that Patriots game.
Your thoughts on the offensive line? What do you see from the guys?
I liked it a lot better this last game against New England. So you saw them able to run between the tackles. So even if some maybe all right, Pro Football Focus might not have graded, what was it, Liam, that they had pretty low this last game. But still, I mean, they were able to run sometimes in his direction, sometimes right behind him, and find success. They were able to run to the outside and get the outside zone going, the physical running between the tackles. So I really like the balance in the run game. So they were able to trust these linemen and run behind them. And then as long as Huntley is getting the ball out quick, and then Tua, when he comes back, and which we know he's comfortable in getting the ball out quickly, then it shouldn't pose too many problems if pass protection isn't elite, but still, obviously always room for improvement there. And whenever they do have longer developing plays, then it's nice to be able to give the quarterback that time and the receivers time to get open.
I'm going to give you a chicken or the egg question. Okay, how many times have you seen Mike McDaniel do what he did late in that game and sticking to the run in his tenure? How many times has he done that?
How many times? Well,
you can't even do it with one hand, right?
Yeah, right. I remember let's
just generalize, okay?
Yeah. I'm thinking of like the Chiefs game in Germany. They actually had success run game late. Remember they drove down. Yeah.
Yeah, I can also think of that. I can think of that Buffalo game 2 years ago that they were killing Buffalo, and then all of a sudden, and the Green Bay game where Tua suffered the concussion, they were killing him for 7 yards a carry.
Yeah,
7 yards a carry. I believe the Bills was like 9 yards a carry for a stretch. Anyway, let me go back to the chicken or the egg question.
Sure.
Okay. Is it that the offensive line is much maligned? Or is it that your coach is so pass happy that he puts the lineman in a really difficult position to constantly get beaten up and pass pro? In run blocking, you get to beat up on them. And offensive linemen love to call the run because they get in a groove and they're moving forward and they're hitting people instead of standing up and taking on the hits. And so you never really do it. And then we're all bitching and complaining about these guys. And then they go out and maybe it's just the Patriots, dude. Okay. Because I'm also not going to overlook that either. Maybe it's just that you were playing the Patriots. But why? But like I told you, you were doing it against Buffalo. You were doing it against Green Bay. You've done it other times and you don't stick with it. And so how much of it is it the chicken or the egg thing? Like, well, okay, maybe they're not that good, but wait a minute. They also don't dedicate enough to it to kind of mix it up, because if they can run the ball, run the ball more often. If you're in pass pro all the time, you become so much more predictable. So what is it, the chicken or the egg? Which one is it here?
Yeah. And Big O, you talk to offensive linemen, and what they love to do is get downhill and run block, right? That's every offensive lineman's favorite thing to do. You get to just like beat up on the person instead of stepping back and pass pro, where you are reacting to what the defender is doing and all their pass rush moves. So, like let those guys go to work sometimes, especially when you're running it well. Now, this is also NFL offense in 2024, and it's a pass happy league. We know all of that, but
no, that's not true. All the teams that have success, like Kansas City, they use Pacheco. Right. San Francisco lost their guy, and their replacement is the leading rusher in the NFL. No. Green Bay, I'm going to go off history. History in Green Bay and San Francisco, they run the ball. Yeah, they run the ball. So yes, it's a pass-happy league, but you got to use Marshall Faulk. And they did with the greatest show on turf. They used Marshall Faulk. So that's where, they use the tight ends too in his tree. And he doesn't use the tight ends, except for this past week that he wanted to start using the tight ends. So there are things that McDaniel doesn't do that's what leaves the question out. How much are you hurting your quarterback? Whichever quarterback it is, by not running and dedicating to the run. How much are you hurting your quarterback, or any quarterback, by not using a more high percentage play like the tight end? How much are you hurting your quarterback by all quarterbacks by not using the running backs as a wide receiver? These are things that are implemented in the tree that McDaniel came from, and we see it in San Francisco and we see it in Green Bay every week, but we don't see it here. Weird.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the heart of this offense is the outside zone first, right? Like running outside zone, so that then once you establish that, you get the defense to overcommit, and it opens up some cutback lanes, opens up some in between the tackles running. So, and then also opens up the pass game too, if you can start to really get the defense to overplay the run. So Mike McDaniel, sometimes he needs to remember that, and it's something that he knows. He would be the first one to tell you that running the football and the outside zone, specifically within the run game, is at the heart of his offense. And I think sometimes, he does get away from it within the game. Some of it is game strategy, and it depends if you're down. It depends the down and distance that you're in. Obviously, you have to call a game, but we've certainly seen situations where he could stick to the run where, hey, look, this one, they were down, but it was just one possession. It wasn't like, sometimes coaches, just because they're trailing, because the other team shows up on the scoreboard as having more points than you, all of a sudden they feel like, oh, we got to pass. And it's not like that. It's not like you're down 25 points like UM was to Cal, and now you're up against the wall. You need to hurry up every single possession to score in order just to keep yourself alive to make the comeback. A lot of games you could still run the football even when you're down one score, when you're down 10, because it's not like the game is out of reach. Stick to your true game plan, and I think Mike McDaniel, and especially when you're winning, then you really should go to the run more often, especially if it's going well. And sometimes he lets the defense dictate to him a lot more. I feel like he sees the look that he's getting, and then it's like an overthinking of, well, against that look, oh, I got to throw against that. Against this look, oh, now I got to run against this.
Right.
Almost like that's what worked to Pete Carroll's detriment at the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl. Instead of just giving it to Marshawn Lynch, even though the Patriots were stacked up against the run, he decided to get cute and have Russell Wilson throw it, and then you saw what happened. So sometimes it's not always the look. Sometimes you dictate to the defense and then force them to stop what you want to do.
Folks, if you're struggling from recovering from Helene or now Milton, if the insurance companies aren't living up to, their responsibilities, which no shocker. In fact, if you did suffer any kind of damage, storm damage, water damage, please call Welton Rayom. Call them before even the insurance company. They have their own adjusters. They'll go to your property, they'll assess everything, and then they will attack the insurance company for you. You'll never have to deal with the insurance company. The only thing you're going to do is pick up a check at the Welton Rayom offices. That sounds like a pretty good plan right there. 954-966-4646. We've got Floridians all across the state calling Welt and Rayom if you need them, and if it's for bankruptcy, criminal defense, condo damage, homeowner property damage, commercial litigation, personal injury, my friends at Welt and Rayom can help you. Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, they're hard at work right now helping a lot of customers. They can help you. 954-966-4646. David, what do you got going on so they can check you out at the South Florida Sun Sentinel?
Big O, I actually should have asked if Welton Rayom could get me out of jury duty. I am on call this week, but for 2 weeks, a 2-week period. But every time I call in, they tell me I don't have to report today. So maybe the storm had something to do with it. But I guess I've gotten off lucky over the bye week. I got
lucky the last time. I got called last month, and
okay, yeah.
I got called last month, and I called for a couple of days, and then that's it. It said, nope, we don't need you. Be good. And
now watch. They don't bring me in during the bye week, and then now they're going to call me next week and have me come in when I got to cover this team before the Colts week. But we'll see. So I just wrote about the run game, which we discussed a lot. So good to see the Dolphins get the run game going here, going into the bye, how they need to continue to build on that. I'll be writing today about Tyus Bowser, a little introduction into the Dolphins' new pass rusher they brought in with Jim Phillips out, and Bradley Chubb still working his way back. So get to know him, someone who's familiar with this defense and was really a plug and play. I mean, he played a lot of snaps against the Patriots, and a guy who is familiar with Anthony Weaver from Baltimore. So he was in the same defense, Mike McDonald with Seattle. So good to see that. And I'll be writing that rookie progress report at the bye, check in on how Chop Robinson, Patrick Paul, Jalen right now with the game he had, all these rookies are doing at this point at their bye week in their first NFL season.
All right, there you go. And follow him on Twitter at DavidFaronis_. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend, and I hope you don't get picked for jury duty.
Thank you.
Got it. There you go. Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. Hour 1 done. Hour 2 next. Manny Navarro kicks it off with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes reports.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Thank you all as always. There we are. The man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good, looking forward to this weekend. I'll be watching a lot of football on my couch and writing about it. So
yeah. Yeah, for me, good job too. I got no Dolphins, no Canes, no Inter. So it's like a totally relaxed weekend, bro. When I'm done here, I get to like chill for the next couple of days. So that's good. Watch with no pressure, you know. That's it. The only other thing I got going on now I'm building up the Crypto Bro Show. So if there's anything that goes on in crypto over the weekend, then maybe I have to, because crypto's 24/7.
Right.
So that's where it's it's kind of like football. Yeah, full-time job, pretty much for Mario. So how are we doing on the injury front here on the bye week?
Well, good. I mean, this is a great opportunity to rest some guys that have been dealing with lingering issues. Jalen Rivers, I think, is going to be the big returnee when Miami comes out of this break, when they have to play at Louisville. If you look at the offensive line play, Cam Ward is certainly responsible for some of those sacks, holding onto the ball for a little too long, trying to, buy time. But you compare the numbers last year to this year, Miami's offensive line performed better a year ago than it did this year. So not having Jalen Rivers around for 5 of your first 6 games affects that. He's probably the best offensive lineman in the ACC, only played against Florida. Get him back. I think that has positive effects for the rest of your offensive line. And then, guys that have been dealing with things, Ruben Bain just came back against Cal. He should be able to benefit from getting a full rest this week, getting his body back up to full speed, being able to play a full workload if needed. Elijah Alston, another guy who was banged up, I think, against Virginia Tech. So, guys are dealing with bumps and bruises, but, having the week off is a perfect time to rest the bodies and then come back fresh for the second half.
The Cam Ward stuff, your assessment so far of his play for the first half?
I mean, he is the reason Miami's 6-0. I know that he hasn't. He's made some bad decisions here and there. The pick six against Cal was probably his worst decision of the season, but he more than made up for it. And the reality is, you look at the improvements with this offense. They have gone from having, in all honesty, Tyler Van Dyke was a pretty good quarterback, not a great one, obviously, he turned the ball over a lot, but a pretty good one statistically, to having arguably the best quarterback in college football in Cam Ward. Which is why Miami has, the number 2 scoring offense in the country, number 1 in yards per play. Just the pure explosiveness. They're averaging over 47 points a game. They are averaging over 8 yards a play. Those are ridiculous marks. Those are marks that make you a national championship contender. So he is the reason, and without question, without him, I'm not sure what this team is.
No, I mean, forget about it, dude. I mean, he's everything. I mean, he's brought the tight end position back to life, because it's not like Arroyo lacked talent. So clearly, there wasn't somebody to get him the ball and all those kind of things. And yeah, he makes some crazy decisions at times, but okay, I can live with the guy that can make a crazy decision and then say, okay, coach, don't worry about it. I'll make up for it. And he can make up for it. You know what I mean? The guy that constantly makes crazy decisions and can't get you out of a mess, well, that's the guy that's going to get you fired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Cam might, maybe some of the things he does might turn off NFL scouts.
No question.
That might be the case, but on the college side, oh my God, are you kidding me, dude? Everything about this kid has been phenomenal. The leadership, and then the confidence that he instills. Because even if you're down, even if you made a mistake, I think in the past when you're down or you make mistakes, it's like, oh no, here we go again. I think with Cam Ward now, you're like, no problem, we'll get him on the next one. And I think that's probably where the attitude is going now.
Yeah, he's made them believers. It doesn't matter what the score is. With him at quarterback, they can beat anybody, and they can come back from any deficit. We've seen this team for the last 20 years without a leader like Cam Ward, and they don't win very many ball games. They lose a lot of games that have you scratching your head. So I think Alonzo Highsmith was right all those years saying that Miami needed to get a better quarterback. I think we all go back to the glory days of this program, and it's obvious the reason they won national championships. They had really good quarterbacks. They had guys that went on to the NFL and were, if they weren't starters in the NFL, they certainly were on rosters and spent a lot of years on it.
Just get them drafted.
Yeah.
If they get drafted from 1st to the 7th round, then that means you had a pretty damn good college quarterback. That's all.
You did. And really, I mean,
Toretto won the Heisman and he was a 4th rounder.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, Dorsey was a 7th rounder. I mean, those get drafted, and it shows that you're a smart, competent guy who can lead a college offense. And I think ultimately, Cam Ward is going to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever come out of Miami. I think, when I talked to scouts at the last Miami home game, I had several people tell me that he's a top 3 quarterback in this draft. And if you're a top 3 quarterback, you're going in the 1st round. There's too many teams that need quarterbacks, dude.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm saying that. And any quarterback that gets drafted, believe it or not, 1st through 7th round, they were running a successful program. And that's what NFL teams see. They see, okay, well, no, but this guy was a winner at this level, and he did this and did that and all that. Like, I look at Bo Nix, and I'm not that impressed with Bo Nix, but he won. So there he is. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of the way it goes. And it doesn't matter who you are and where you get drafted. If you get drafted, then there's some respect for you there because of what you did in college. And that's what Miami has to get back to. I know Cam's going to probably be maybe a 1st rounder. I don't know, maybe early 2nd, worst case scenario. You don't have to get to that point. But if you're at least getting your quarterbacks drafted, then, Erickson, what was Erickson? Craig Erickson was...
They use a supplemental pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, like
he,
a third round supplemental pick, I want to say.
he was. I think he might have been a first round supplemental pick.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. But
Look it
yeah, I
up.
mean,
Look it up, Craig Erickson. See what he was. But again, I'm just trying to pick guys that weren't obvious. Vinny Testaverde, the guys that were obvious first rounders. That Jim Kelly and all that kind of. You just get drafted, bro. You mentioned a great one in Dorsey. Dorsey had no business really to play in the NFL, but if you watched him in college, you just saw a winner.
All right, so he was drafted in 91 by the Eagles in the 5th round, and then he was also drafted in the 4th round of the 92 draft by the Buccaneers.
Okay. I'm thinking of Steve Walsh. Steve Walsh was the supplemental pick, I think.
Yes, he was a first round supplemental pick. Yes.
That's what I confused Erickson and Walsh for a second, so I apologize.
Yes, that's exactly he took Steve Walsh and then he traded him after, right? That's what it was, right? He traded him to the Bears or something like that. I think it was.
I think he was traded, yes, at some point.
I think he was traded or something like that. Anyway, so either way, UM's got to get back to getting quarterbacks that are drafted.
Yeah.
That's it. And if they can do that, then in this year you're going to get Cam drafted. And that's going to also be a great sales job too for your program also.
Especially for quarterbacks who are going to be hitting the transfer portal, who say, there was the narrative that Mario was a quarterback killer, right? People were like, oh, he doesn't really develop guys. He inherited Justin Herbert at Oregon. That wasn't his recruit. That was already there. And, you had a guy in Tyler Van Dyke that won from ACC Rookie of the Year, took a step backwards. There was that narrative out there that Mario was a quarterback killer. And now this sort of flips that on its head, doesn't it?
It will. It will.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not done yet, but it definitely will, and it's already doing it. And when he went for it early in the game this past week, I was like, well, that's not Mario. I like that. And they failed. But I was like, I'm good. That's what I want from Mario, because you and I have been talking about this for several years, even before he took the job. It was, he does have a conservative approach because that's who he is as a person. You know what I mean? He's a conservative man, period. And so his coaching, and because he's an offensive lineman and all that, it's kind of been more of a conservative approach, but you can't be like that in this game nowadays. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, he's adjusting to that. And to me, that's growth. That's big. That's big. And so I want to see it in bigger moments where, you're going to have some cojones and take some chances. And I know he has plenty of cojones. I know he has plenty of toughness, but I just want him to be able to have a little extra risk. And I saw that this week, and I was like, so that whole thing about him being conservative, that whole thing about being a quarterback killer, these are narratives that he's crushing,
He is, and and I think certainly Ward has gotten people excited, just future quarterbacks excited to come play here, and that in itself, the value of that, especially in today's world with transfers and recruiting and guys flipping all the time, it's going to put Miami in a prime position to land a really good quarterback next year, and that's what you want. You want to be able to continue this. You don't want to go make the playoff this year or win an ACC title this year and then take a step back like Florida State has, right? This year where they're 1-5 and their quarterback situation completely devastated them. So I think Mario is going to avoid that because he's done a good job recruiting and building the team around Cam Ward. And I think because Cam Ward has come in here and put a stamp on, hey, you can go to Miami and play quarterback and have a lot of success. I think that's going to help them tremendously.
And by the way, everything Florida State built, they just destroyed it with this season. They just destroyed it because it looks fraudulent, what you built. And that is something that Mario and his staff have to look at and say, we can't have those kind of valleys.
Yep.
We can peak and then maybe have a little bit of a dip and then get back up, but we cannot just go into a valley because then we're going to lose recruits. We're going to lose momentum in recruiting and all those kind of things. And so great lesson for Miami to look at Florida State and say, okay, we've got to be prepared next year to win as many games or more and have great success and maintain, because that's what they do at Georgia. That's what they do at Alabama. That's what they do at Ohio State.
That's what he was brought here to do, dude. That's why they spent the money to go get him.
Exactly.
It's not to be a one-hit wonder.
Right. It's not to be for you old guys out there, because I don't know who it is now in today's world, but it's not to be Don McNeilon. Okay, back with West Virginia, that okay, I got one good team, but then I'm going to disappear for 4 more years, and then I'll be back with another team. Jim Grobe would do that at Wake Forest. He would actually have a team every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking maybe the Cuse might be something like that. Maybe there's a couple of programs that are like that right now. Maybe Duke is one of those that can only have a good class every 4 years or something like that. You can't do that. You can't do that here at the University of Miami.
And it's not going to be that. It won't, because he recruits at such a high level that a lot of those guys come in, and ultimately they're not going to leave because they're winning right now, right? They see the results. They see guys getting better. They see guys, and that's the thing. You have to just sort of stack that year upon year, and you'll be fine. And I think that's the direction they're headed.
All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Well, we just had our ACC power rankings come out this morning. So if you want to read up on the entire conference and who's playing who this weekend and what's kind of at stake, I think one team for us to track the rest of the year is going to be SMU. Rhett Lashley, former offensive coordinator. They went on the road last week, beat Louisville, had an impressive win. They are off this week, just like Miami is. But the second half of their schedule, man, I've said this many times, I think Miami has to go undefeated in the regular season to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoff. Well, you lose one game, SMU could be the team that replaces you in the ACC championship game if you don't take care of yourself. So they're a team to watch the rest of the way, and a lot of former Canes on that team. So if you want to read about SMU and the rest of the ACC, check out our ACC power rankings.
You bastard! You do it every time.
That's what I do, baby. I bring it.
You bastard! You do it every single. Can you see that from there? Because I can't. Because I'm on delay.
I see it. I see the line going up.
You see it all. You see that shit. You see that shit
every time.
How come you haven't invested?
I know. I'm gonna have to do something here. The problem is I'm worried about being the bad luck. I don't want to ruin it for you. I feel like at the moment I actually put money in, it's gonna go the opposite way because
you can't ruin it, dude. Our government prints money and devalues their dollar.
Right.
And all that's going to do is continue to make Bitcoin stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why it was 8 digits behind a penny and it's at 62,000. So, there's no asset in the world that's ever done that, So I'm just saying, bro, you're Mr. Parabolic, bro.
I don't know how I do it, brother. I don't know how I do it, but it's working for you. I'll keep it going for you. For you.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And of course, go to Caneswear. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off online or in person. And also online, if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. And Jeff, he makes sure that when you send in that order, it is out right away, man. They fill it and send it out right away. They do great work there at Caneswear. Go check it out. And coming up will be our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese. The Miami Hurricanes Canes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
We are going to be at the Big Cheese this Tuesday. We obviously canceled it this Tuesday because of the storm. I didn't want to take any chances. And so now it'll be this Tuesday. Manny, if you get a chance, join us there, man. We're going to be there at noon for lunch. So if you can swing by, lunch is on me.
All right. I'm gonna try to make it happen, brother.
Or on Gary and Billy, since they own the damn place. It's really on them, actually. You know what I'm saying? So, and by the way, let me piggyback of what we were talking about in our Caneswear report. Because of Cam's success, what are we hearing about future quarterbacks being recruited? What are we hearing about buzz about quarterbacks being interested in coming? What are we hearing about quarterbacks visiting, being there at games, that kind of stuff? Because what Cam Ward is doing has got to be pretty sexy. And if I can get a young recruit to come on over and shake hands with Cam and talk with Cam, I'm going to do that too. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if you can do that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, what are we hearing about trying to create that bridge of QBs that used to be spoiled with for many years?
Well, I think the high school recruiting has gone pretty well. I like the two quarterbacks that they have lined up for the next two signing classes. Luke Nickel is a kid out of Georgia they've had committed for well over a year now, who is really, I think, blossoming as a senior. Having, he's up for the Gatorade National Player of the Year award, putting up huge numbers in Georgia, which is one of the best states in the country in terms of competition and playing the quarterback position. There's a lot of really good teams out there. So he's the next guy that's lined up. They've got Darion Coleman in the 2026 class, who to me is a lot more like Cam, more of a mobile threat, a guy that, to me, when you look at this offense, Cam's run for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns this year. He's made a lot of big plays with his legs. I ultimately think that's where football in general is headed. You got to be able to be mobile in today's game and pick up the 20-yard touchdown run when the defense decides to drop 8 in coverage. So both of those guys are lined up. I think they're very much into signing with Miami. But the interesting name for me to watch is going to be DJ Lagway, who was the 5-star quarterback who signed with Florida at the end of last year, ended up deciding to stick with the Gators despite all the trouble going on with Billy Napier and the 5-game losing skid the Gators were on. The Gators right now are 3-2. They got a big win over UCF last week, but Billy Napier, as you know.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. So UCF is not going to win another national title?
They are not. They're not in the running this year. Oh, that's disappointing and shocking, I'm sure. But they are not in the running for the national title.
Oh man, my weekend's ruined. Damn it.
But Lagway is an interesting name to watch. Because I think he is gonna be one of the most coveted quarterbacks in the transfer portal, assuming that Billy Napier is fired and Florida ends up hitting the reset button. So I think he's a name. You talk about a hot name to watch. I think that's the guy.
He's got some skills, bro.
Oh, he is super talented. Super talented. And the Canes just finished taking one of the Gators' top receivers away in their recruiting class. So again, I think you talk about the quarterback position, the buzz. The buzz is, I think, DJ Lagway is a name to watch in the transfer portal this year for Miami, assuming what happens in Gainesville goes down.
There you go. I don't know what her name is, but see, you're failing. You try to stop from them getting to your recruits. They're going to get to your recruits anyways. All right, let's get to they're ranked 12th right now, Miami, in their recruiting class and the 22 commitments. Talk to me a little bit about what's been going on, some of the flips and everything else.
Yeah, they just got Josh Moore from West Broward High School. I live right next to West Broward, so he's down the street from me. I saw Josh, I want to say in March at a Under Armour camp, and I went up to him and I shook his hand. And his middle finger went about halfway up my wrist.
Around the Gadsden hands is what
just like Andre Johnson's did when I shook Andre Johnson's hand when he was a high school senior. And
you shook hands with a bundle of bananas.
Yes, with a bundle of bananas. Yes, huge hands.
Yeah.
And one of those deals where you're like, holy cow, this is a big man, a large man who is really, really talented. And look, he was committed to Florida. I just finished telling you about the struggles the Gators are having and the fact that Billy Napier's on the hot seat and their class could be on the verge of falling apart. Miami, flips him. That was kind of an expected thing to happen. I think, there's a chance that Vernell Brown, who is a guy who played for the South Florida Express, a team that I've been close with over the years because I followed their 7-on-7 and written about them in the past. He's a guy who's another big-time recruit for the Gators. His dad played for the Gators. Another guy to watch is a potential flip target for Miami at the receiver position. Again, you look at the numbers Miami is putting up offensively, and I think there are a lot of recruits that are looking at this program right now saying, dude, all right, this is for real. Miami has finally crossed that threshold from being, hey, we might get there to, wait a minute, they are there, right? So all interesting things to watch in the weeks ahead. There are plenty others. Right now, they got the number 12.
By the way, it doesn't hurt that you're doing some of these on nationally televised games.
Oh, yeah.
What you did in Florida and even the California game, you and I talked about it leading into that game.
Yeah.
Okay, it's late on the East, but it's prime time out West. And so all of a sudden now you've got two teams in your conference from out West. You got kids watching out West. The brand is big everywhere from coast to coast. Kids,
dude, that celebration
turned on by the brand of the U, and so it's a great sell job, dude. Great.
Have you seen the fact that Cam Ward's touchdown celebration,
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
The 49ers were doing it last night.
Night.
They were doing it at the Panthers game.
Right.
Like it's one of those things that when the Miami brand catches fire, we've always talked about it. If they can just catch fire again,
right,
it's just gonna start on its own. It'll be a set of dominoes just rolling over. And so that's the thing to watch for. You
either love them or you love to hate them. But that's
yes, and a lot of people hate them. Oh,
yeah.
A lot of people hate them, and you're seeing it come out of the woodwork after years and years and years of being buried.
Yeah. Well, because when they suck, they don't care anymore. Like,
right.
Okay, well, they suck. I'm glad that they suck, and I don't even have to talk about them. Now that they're good, oh God, I hate them. I can't stand that they're going to be good again. And you know what? That's the fun one. That's the fun one. That when you're back and they hate you that you're back and all that, and it's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
It really is. And there are going to be some guys. Look, Miami opens at Louisville in the second half, October 19th. The following week, they get Florida State at home. There are going to be some guys in attendance for sure for that game. And DJ Pickett being one of them, who's the 5-star cornerback. I've told you many times on the show, cornerback safety recruiting is what I think is the next step where they've got to improve.
Yeah.
They've got to get some studs. And I think DJ Pickett, his cousin already goes to school at Miami. I think a lot of people just expected it's a foregone conclusion that the LSU commit will flip to Miami eventually. And there's other guys. that they're after. Ohio State commits, USC commits.
Is DJ from a football, like, is any of the other Picketts have been in the NFL?
Yes. That's
is.
the whole family. That's the Pickett family that played at Miami and the ones that played at Ohio State as well. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I mean, Pickett's not like a unusual name. It's
right.
So there could be, several Picketts, but when I have to ask, because obviously I know of the NFL Picketts that have been there, so I'm wondering, is this offsprings? Because you always
these are nephews and cousins and sons and all that stuff. So I mean, Miami's in a very good position, brother. And I think as long as they get to the college football playoff, which right now I say they're pretty much favored to at the very least go 11-1. They go 11-1, win the ACC championship. They're in the playoff. I see nothing but good things in store in terms of adding talent to this roster and improving this roster.
Yeah, no doubt. And good things in store. Well, that's when you go to the Big Cheese, okay, at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. By the way, we're going to be there next Tuesday, broadcasting live at noon. Manny's going to come by and join us. So what are you going to have off the menu besides the garlic rolls, of course?
Man, listen, I don't even know.
What are you going to get? What are you going to get?
I'm a big fan of the lasagna, to be honest. I'm fine with a nice piece of lasagna with that garlic bread. I'm tasting it now as I'm thinking about it. That's how good that food is.
Yes. So make sure you come on down, enjoy some stuffed shells, some baked ziti, The pizza is to die for, and they've got all kinds of great pizza, obviously, all kinds of different styles and the garlic breads. So make sure you visit our friends at the Big Cheese. Order over the weekend for the family and check it out. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Give them a ring, and they will take care of you. 305-662-6855. Follow my man Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Manny, have a great weekend, my brother. We will catch up on Tuesday.
All right, man. You take care.
You got it. There you go. And visit our friends at the Big Cheese, Gary, Billy, all the great people out there. It is a phenomenal place.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
Got a little rain going on here in Pembroke Pines right now. We are, of course, here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. I'm looking at the ZDXs right now, $479 a month, the lease feature right now. And you can get it for 0.9% financing. That's pretty good. The Integra 2025, $339 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, we've had two in our family. My wife still drives one. $379 a month, 2024 models. We still have a few. 3.9% financing for 60 months. Come on down here, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, and they've got a large selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. The lot is overloaded and overflowing with all kinds of new vehicles. So come on out here and check it out. They will take care of you. Tell them that Big O sent you. If you happen to own or lease an Acura, like we do in our family, where we own Acuras, you can get it serviced here. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber do an excellent job there at the service center. So come on down, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75. And Pines, it is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right, let's do our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. The great Alan Blanco, he is the best. Custom printing and embroidery. Does your company need it? You need it for new uniforms, new hats, shirts, T-shirts that you need for some kind of get-together, school event, whatever it is you need, club, corporation, you need it. Call 3A Graphics. You can do all of this stuff by Zoom and email and all that, so give them a ring. That's where a lot of people do that stuff. They don't really go visit anymore. 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery, quality at its finest. So that's what you're going to get at 3A Graphics. Please call Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Revenge is mine. I told you to take the Minnesota Lynx plus 6.5 yesterday, and they beat the Liberty. I wasn't sure if they would win, but I knew they would give them trouble, and they fell behind big time. I even took them plus 14.5. Not only did I take it plus 6.5, you think I wasn't going to take plus 14.5? I had conviction, baby. I won big. I hope you guys did too. 95-93, Nafisa Collier dominated, hit the game-winning shot. Ottawa defeated the Panthers 3-1. Alexander Barkov also injured. Don't know how serious the injury is. Florida losing. Their record drops to 1-1. The season's over already. That's it. They're not winning the cup. That's it. There's only 80 games left. Anyway, Bob had 28 saves. Tomorrow, they're in Buffalo, 7 o'clock. Thursday night football action. The Niners survive against the Seahawks 36-24. Both teams are 3-3. Purdy, 255 yards and 3 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel, 3 receptions, 102 yards and a touchdown, and 4 rushes for 15 yards as San Francisco picks up the victory. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. Dolphins, Canes, and Inter Miami all off this weekend. There we go. Chase says, nice bet on the Lynx. There's so many sports on now. It's almost overloaded, Big O. Yeah, trust me. And I'm the guy that's got to prepare for all of them. Okay. I mean, not that there's really much WNBA talk. It's really Caitlin Clark talk, if anything. But I like the league. I watch it. I've watched the league for years. It's not a Caitlin Clark thing. Kelsey Plum is my favorite player, actually, from the Las Vegas Aces. So it's not really like, but I love what she's done for the game because they needed a shot in the arm. But for me, I'm about making money. I don't give a shit about what it is, dude. If I can find value in something, I'm going to find value in it. And I knew yesterday, or at least I thought, that the Lynx were value at 6.5. And trust me, when they fell to 14.5, I knew it was super value, and I had to jump all over it. I saw a guy say, I'm not, oh, here it is. I'm not participating in the contest because I'm tired of hearing the ums and ahs. I want to see more action and results, not BS. A-Rod says that. Okay, so what does do you think the contest has anything to do with the ums and the ahs? No. Do you think if he wins, he's going to stop doing the ums and ahs? Do you think if he wins the Super Bowl, Mike McDaniel will stop doing the ums and ahs? Do you think in the parade when they've won the Super Bowl and he's lifting the trophy, there won't be any ums or ahs? He doesn't drink. So plenty of ums and ahs. So, A-Rod, you got a chance, maybe, I don't know, you're always on the show. You got a chance to win 9 shirts and a hat for something silly. And I'm not even putting it on social media. I'm not putting it, I'm only saying it during the show. So only the hardcore that listen to the actual show, because there's a lot of people that just listen to the Ira segment or the Furones segment or the Manny Navarro segment or some rant that Sean puts, and that's it. They don't really listen to the show. Those of you that listen to the show that are hardcore supporters, that's who this contest is for. And John Rigoni, by the way, is the man that designs all of our shirts. So if you need graphic design for your company, John Rigoni is the man. By the way, I also would be remiss if I did not mention, because I did mention that Daniel Florentine made a donation to the show, and he did. But he made a couple of donations. I noticed it after. He made 3 donations to the show, including Bitcoin. So thank you, sir. Very nice of you. Very nice of you. Thank you, Mr. Florentine. Very nice of you. Very kind. And beautiful that it was Bitcoin. By the way, Bitcoin over 62,000. It was 62,200 when Manny Navarro was on. Now it went down to 62,035. Get Manny back on the show, bro. Jesus, I'm just going to keep Manny on the entire time. Just make him the co-host. We'll make more money that way. All of us will make more money that way. It pumps every time he comes on. Every time, dude. It's truly amazing. What do we got going on? Solana is up 5%. All right. Atlas is up almost 10%. I like it. And Dow is up 7.5%. I told you guys to take advantage of the Dow. It was down. It was down. Anyway. Did you see that CAA dropped Hassan Reddick? Dude, CAA is like the biggest agency out there. Okay, especially for athletics, they might be number 1. And I saw Andrew Brandt retweet this when, Rappaport reported it, that CAA, because Rappaport probably works for CAA also. That's probably his agency also. So CAA decides they're going to part ways with Hassan Reddick. And then Andrew Brandt, who does an excellent job, former Packer executive. I've had him on the show several times. He's awesome. Every time I ask him to come on, he always comes on. He's just an absolutely fantastic person to follow and get educated about the league and the business of the league. And he's just, man, I love everything about Andrew Brandt. Just on target like 99% of the time. None of us are 100, but he is 99% of the time too. And he retweets, he goes, no agency in their right mind is going to continue to allow their client to continue to hold out and miss $800,000 a week. So he goes, I'm sure they told him this was a bad idea, and he kept telling them no. That's what Andrew Brand, which I'm sure he's 1,000% right about that. This is Le'Veon Bell all over again. Right? And I'm sure it wasn't the agent's fault, but the agent had to go along with it, and then Le'Veon Bell lost $15 million that he never recovered again. And this idiot is losing $800,000 a week. I just would like to make $800,000 once in my lifetime. Just once. I know I'll never see that kind of money. You know? So it's like, I don't get it, man. Stupid. They just raised you to be stupid. Absolutely stupid. The next thing you'll tell me, you voted for Elizabeth Warren or Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. Captain Saki. We survived another storm. Hopefully that's the end of them. Ready for some football this week, and hopefully our Finns healed a bit this bye week. Best show, period. Thank you, Captain Saki. Very nice of you. True Fin Fan says, so much for my day off on my way to work because of a lazy ass. Fuming right now. Sorry, brother, but that was funny. The bye week came at a perfect time. The playbook can be opened even more for Huntley. Running the ball is very important for this offense. Him running the ball, I think, is very important. Of course, the running backs is important for any offense, with to or without. But, yeah, no, dude, please. Have Huntley run more. Let's see what else. Brett says, we're all on the same team here, but we have different ideas and opinions on how the Dolphins can succeed best. It's okay to disagree with each other as long as it's done respectfully. Jonathan says, a 4-star from West Broward just flipped. Yes. We just talked about the receiver. Let's see. What else do we have here? All right. You know what? Let's do this. You know, we love talking a little crypto on the show. And every day we like producing a segment called The Crypto Bro Show.
The Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzugari and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to lose.
Time to log into the blockchain and find out what's the latest in Bitcoin and crypto in our Crypto Bro Show. Crypto Bro.
This segment brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Take your home or business to the next level with RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Call Ray or Mike at 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their fantastic work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Crypto Bros.
Here's the Crypto Bro himself, Orlando Alzugari.
There we are. And, you know, Michael Saylor has been leading the way with MicroStrategy and his company in purchasing a lot of Bitcoin. And a company that's kind of been following the same path is Metaplanet. And we've talked about them several times. Well, Metaplanet went and bought another chunk of Bitcoin. Okay? And now they have 639 and a half Bitcoin. There's the figure. They just bought 108.9 Bitcoin. I'd love just the 0.9 part, because that's 0.99. That's almost one more. You know, that would be a dream for some of us. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing. So they now have a total holdings of 748,502 Bitcoin. The yen price is 9,304,655. Remember, their money's inflated compared to ours. So, in other words, our 62 is 9 million for them. We're getting there too, by the way. We're headed that way. You're going to see that things will be more and more and more. It's just the way it is. Anyway, and then their total worth now is 6.965 billion yen. That is just, it's impressive, dude. It's impressive. It's smart. And that's why you're seeing cities and states and countries and corporations. They're going to build their reserves with Bitcoin. Okay? It's not just, and Bitcoin allows you to be very mobile as a company. So if you need to purchase something, if you need to pay something, you can move it right away. You can't do that stuff with gold. TD Bank was hit yesterday with a record $3 billion fine for laundering drug cartel money. And it's funny because this stupid idiot named Elizabeth Warren is always complaining about Bitcoin. Okay? And saying it's illegal activity when everything is done with money. Illegal activity is mostly done with money, not with crypto. And why is it not done with Bitcoin? Because it's an open ledger. Does a criminal want to do something where everybody knows what you're doing? No. Does Elizabeth Warren tell you that? No. She'll complain about FTX, but does she come back and tell you that everybody got their money plus 19% in interest? No, because that doesn't help their cause, their lies. And, so here's TD Bank hit with a record $3 billion. The other guy that I told you yesterday, the liar, okay, JP Morgan, all right, they were hit with a $29 million fine for rigging silver, manipulating the price of silver. The people that are into the money and into all that, they're the ones manipulating. Like the gold, even gold. Everybody that thinks they own gold, they don't really, I have this much in gold, and they have it all. It's all paper gold. It's not really, they don't have it physically. Oh no, it's over there somewhere in this vault. Yeah, sure it is. Wait till all of you ask for your gold. Watch how some of you won't get it. Anyway, that's why we tell you cold storage wallet, you own it. Nobody else owns it. Anyway, Michael Saylor, talking about MetaPlanet. MicroStrategy's endgame, Michael Saylor announced, is to be leading the leading Bitcoin bank and become a $1 trillion company. So if you're into stocks, MicroStrategy is a stock you want to buy. Okay? That thing's going to go through the roof. It was nice to see that Commissioner Mark Udea called the agency's crypto approach a disaster. And it was because they've been enforcing by taking people to court instead of, and this is the beauty of the election now at the end of the month, that it doesn't matter who gets in, there's going to be regulations for it. It's going to happen. It doesn't really matter, and I don't really care who wins. To be quite honest, I don't really care. And it's not about pushing one or the other or whatever. You do whatever you want. But the good thing for those of us that are investors and the rest of the world, and because the most powerful people in finance are investing, they're going to listen to them too. And they're going to say, we need this already regulated. We need all of this to get, finally have closure so we can move forward with all of this. So this is really good that even people inside the SEC that work with Gary Gensler are saying, yeah, what we don't agree with what Gary's doing. And that is a good thing. It's a really good thing. If you're a Ripple person, I don't own Ripple, but obviously Ripple is a terrific company. And those of you that own Ripple and you owned it through the court cases, you people have balls. You people are tough. Anyway, Ripple filed a cross appeal in its ongoing case against the SEC, because that's the only way they know how to regulate is by trying to sue people, to ensure that all legal arguments are addressed following the SEC's recent appeal. Now, I didn't invest in XRP early because of all this legal stuff. Now I laugh at it because the SEC, all they do is lose. And when you have one of your own commissioners come out and say, yeah, what we've been doing is wrong, it just fuels more fire for me and everybody else. And even those of you that have XRP, you should probably buy more. And speaking of XRP, Ripple launched a Ripple Custody, a digital asset storage service for banks and fintech firms. Remember, XRP is going to be enormous with banks worldwide. They're already huge already in Europe. It's the legal issues in the U.S. that have stopped them. Europe's ahead of us. So we're just idiots here, man. And thanks to again, I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Biden or Harris. But thanks to the stinking Biden administration, they have been an absolute disservice, and it's been flat out evil what they've done with crypto and what they've done to Americans with that. That's all I'm going to say. I've said this many times over the years. I'm not a fan. Anyway, the idea is to diversify beyond its payments settlement business. So Ripple has not only been about payments, but now also about storage too at the same time. So this is very, very important. These things are it's more steps forward. Stripe has reinstated crypto payments for U.S. businesses. They have it worldwide, but again, because they know regulations are coming, we know we're right around the corner, that we're about to elect a new president. Again, I don't care which one you're going to elect. I don't really give a shit. I don't like either one of them anyway. Okay, so it's not about whatever, but any one of them is going to help move it forward, because unlike Biden, these two want to actually move forward with this. The questions are, that's another conversation, but anyway. So Stripe reinstated crypto payments for U.S. businesses, allowing them to accept USDC, which is the stable coin, on Ethereum, Solana, and Polygon after a 6-year hiatus. Because obviously they saw the SEC and what they were doing and said, we're out of here. We're not going to deal with this. We don't want to deal with sues and all that kind of stuff. And now they know it's about to turn around in less than a month, that we'll get a new president and we'll move forward. There's a man named Milton Friedman, if you can pull up his picture. Milton, by the way, is an American economist, a statistician. He received the 76th Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences for his research on consumption analysis, monetary history, and theory, and the complexity of stabilization policy. So this is a guy that is just a smart numbers guy, understands money, understands economy, obviously. His quote, it says, "We have a system that increasingly taxes work and subsidizes non-work." Think about that. Think about that statement. We have a system that increasingly, because it does increasingly, tax work. We're the ones producing, and subsidizes non-work. Where does that make sense? You could buy a house. Well, do you know what the average to buy a house before pandemic was? $290,000. Do you know what the average to buy a house now post-pandemic? How about if I tell you it's smoking time? What time is smoking time? 420,000. Before the pandemic, 2/3 of Americans could afford homes. After the pandemic, 1/3. $7 trillion was given in stimulus by Trump and Biden. Again, I don't care about either one. They're both trash to me. 85% of it wasn't used. It was invested. It was whatever. It wasn't actually used for paying bills or any of that shit. 85% of $7 trillion. We are in a $35 trillion hole, which is going to grow more. I explain this to you all the time. I'm telling you, $7 trillion of the stimulus handed off by Trump and Biden, 85% of it wasn't used. That's $6 trillion easily you could have taken off our deficit from 35 to 29. It's a lot of money our kids don't have to pay for, because it's our kids that are going to pay for it, by the way. And our kids' kids. Oh my God, what we're doing to them. The average mortgage, do you know what the average mortgage payment was before pandemic? $1,100. You know what it is now? $2,200. We are an elitist society. We have reduced housing. Housing is going more to the elite because middle class and lower class can't buy a home. Kids now can't buy a home. We allow less people in colleges, entry exams and all that stuff, and, Harvard or wherever. You know why they do that? Because the alumni want their diploma to be worth more. So, you can allow 1,500 in when you really could allow 15,000 to get a great education. But we elite our education, which then leaves less to be educated. Less people are getting a college education. The people that have a college education are the ones that are controlling more of the money. So we are educating less, and we are creating more of an elitist community and a divide between the elitist and who has less. And we do it all the way from the beginning on the educational side. And then that leads to where we are fiscally. And it creates a problem. Just ask yourself now, those of you that are older, how many of you say, if I wanted to go to college now where I went to college, I could never afford it, I could never go. That's a problem, dude. It's a problem. So money is out of control, and it's getting to a point where we just don't. We're making it at a point where it is going to be hard for so many people just to get by. It's really, really tough. I don't want to get into the psychological stuff of it and how much it affects men more than women, especially millennials and down. Those are the people that are really suffering now. Male millennials, women are actually much stronger and they're able to get through some of this stuff, but males are really suffering, dude. Because of course the machismo won't allow you to say it, but the women are usually stronger mentally when it's all said and done. BlackRock has surpassed 11.5 trillion in assets under management. They were just under 9 when they started with the Bitcoin thing just 9 months ago. Now they're at 11.5 trillion. That's all. And they're loading up on Bitcoin. They're the most powerful entity in the world financially. It must be, it's probably nothing that they're trying to buy more Bitcoin than anybody else. You really shouldn't pay attention to that. They're probably doing it just for fun. They own most of all the companies that are in the stock market, the top ones. They own large percentages of all those companies. Amazon and Tesla, they are major stockholders of those companies, major controlling votes of those companies. But it's probably nothing that they're loading up on Bitcoin. Dude, please. No. They're telling their clients, hey, portfolios should be 20, 30% stocked with Bitcoin. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5%. No, 20, 30. It's probably nothing. Most of you should not pay attention to it. What the hell does BlackRock know? Do they even make money there at BlackRock? Bank of America, by the way, ran a survey. This is Bank of America. And it reveals that 62% of millennials prefer crypto, as $84 trillion is set to transfer from older generations. Because the baby boomers and all that are going to give their kids the money. And they prefer crypto because they're growing up with digital wallets. They're growing up in the digital age. So to them, this is the norm. Having this is not normal. Okay? Having a couple of these is not normal either. You know? It's not normal. So think about it. 62% of millennials. Let's not even get to Gen Zs. All right? Now let me show you a chart of whales accumulating Bitcoin like you've never seen before. You got three things here. The price of Bitcoin, okay, on this chart. You got it up here? So you got three things here. The price of Bitcoin, long-term holders, and short-term holders. The short-term holders are the orange. And you see how it's gone up in a short amount of time, but it also goes down in a very short amount of time. But look at the whales above. Okay? That's all you need to know. Look at the whales above in that dotted line all the way on the top. Whales just continue to accumulate. And it just goes up. And I know that when it went down to 59 yesterday, I was like, I'm taking advantage. It hit 58.9 or something. Boom, I'm dipping. I'm in. And smart people are taking advantage, and that's what the whales are. But again, probably means nothing that they're whales and they're buying. It must be a coincidence that the most powerful financial organizations in the world, okay, are buying. The UAE now is getting on board, and that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for the Arab nations to get on board, okay? And then China opened it up, and they're now starting to open it up because they have no choice. If not, they'll fall behind. So they've got to open it up, and then once we get this old fart out of the way, then things will open up also. I don't know how much with Harris, and, you know, I know with Trump it'll completely open up because, hell, he has his own crypto exchange. So he's going to want everything because it's going to benefit him. He doesn't care. He's just there to grift and steal. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter which one. And by the way, anyone can win. Harris can win and Trump can win. So don't be surprised if any of them can win. You're not talking about any kind of sexy type of candidates. So be prepared. Anything can win. Anything can happen here. The only one that will win is Bitcoin. The only ones that are going to lose is Americans because of the way they are handling our money. Anyway, that is today's edition, our 8th edition of the Crypto Bro Show on October 11th, Friday, October 11th. All right, and remember, folks, you can always support the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, and you can make a Bitcoin donation or Ethereum donation, which is apropos here on the Crypto Bro Show. Thank you.
The Crypto Bro Show is brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. From complete makeovers for homes or condos to impact windows and doors to drywall with level 5 finish. Call Ray or Mike at RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their exceptional work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. Crypto Bros. Follow Big O for more crypto insight on X or Twitter at Big O Show.
All right. Yeah. Context, part of your Airbnb thing is that corporations are buying houses and all kinds of stuff. They're scooping them up, dude, left and right. And so because people can't afford to buy them, they got to rent. And so there's a lot of these corporations that have just scooped up houses, and then the values go through the roof. and then they just make a killing on rent. That's it. Yeah. So it's not just Airbnb, and it's the laws too. Yeah, and I know that they just under this administration, I hate to give them credit, but I give anybody credit when they deserve it. They did pass a law to limit that, but it's gonna take a couple of years for it to start, and that's where they, obviously in prior, what's it called, leadership groups, they all empowered the corporations. That's all the politicians do, is that they empower corporations. They get their pockets flush with money, and then they empower the corporation. That's what happens, and we get screwed. It's just kind of the wicked way of this world, man. It really is. It's a shame. All right, let's get to a little music. Why don't we? Let's. We always like to talk a little bit about music and music history. What happened today in music history? Who was born on this date? All that good stuff. Let's start off with musicians. Cardi B celebrating her birthday today, born in 1992. MC Lyte. Now we're talking. Female rapper, 1971 on this date. Let's see. Scott Johnson from the Gin Blossoms, born in this date in 62. Let's see. Who else? Celebrating Andrew Woolfolk, saxophonist with Earth, Wind, and Fire, born in this date in 1950. Gary Malaber, drummer for the Steve Miller Band, born in this date in 1946. And R&B soul singer for Hall & Oates, Daryl Hall, born in this date in 1946. Those are your musicians born on this date. Let's go with some other famous folk born on this date. Luke Perry was born on this date in 66. We lost him in 2019. Matt Bonner, actor, is 47 years old. Brandon Flynn, actor, 31 years old. TJ Watt, football player, is 30. Michelle Trachtenberg from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the annoying little sister, is 39 years old. I see a very famous wrestler that I know. Bobby Charlton, former soccer player, born in 1937. We lost him in 2023. Another wrestler here. Okay, I see a couple of wrestlers. Also celebrating a birthday today is Joan Cusack. Actress, is 62 years old. All right, Sean, wrestlers, what do you got for me? Because we got at least 3 here on this list. Wow, that's a lot for this list.
All right, Andy Douglas turns 45 today. Arturo Ruiz turns 43. Rhea Ripley, she turns 28. Ricochet turns 36. Riddick Moss, he turns 35. Taz turns 57. Ring announcer Tony Chimmel turns 63. Tyra May Stock turns 32 today. Rikishi, he turns 59 today. And my favorite, and the man that got me into pro wrestling, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, was born on this date in 1945. Sadly, he passed away in 2015. The Bull of the Woods, baby.
That's it.
That is your birthdays for October 11th, 2024.
Yep. You said Rhea Ripley, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So this one had 3, but I knew Dusty Rhodes. That's for sure. That's the one I knew. I didn't know Rikishi or the young lady. I didn't know them.
Rikishi's he had the oh man, I can't think of the name out. The big ass he used to back in the face.
I have no idea.
Give him the stink face is what he called it.
Okay.
Finish. So yeah.
Okay. Stink face. Well, yeah, that's he did a true Finn fan.
No, well, he did do that on one person I know for a fact.
Okay.
They told a story. But
Yeah.
You could. You had the opportunity.
Okay.
Because it was right on their face, camera right there. So, and he's also the father of the Usos. So,
okay. Well, see, True Fin, it's probably where you were inspired by. It's probably what happened there. All right, let's get to a little music history. What happened today on October 11th in music history? Well, in 1969, the number one album in America was Creedence Clearwater Revival's Green River. In 95, Peter Frampton released Frampton Comes Alive 2, the sequel to his 76 multi-platinum record, Frampton Comes Alive. I remember buying that album. In 97, Elton John had the number one song in the country with his tribute to the late Princess Diana, Candle in the Wind. In 97, a reworking of his 74 hit about Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. In 90, that would be interesting. In 90, drummer Dave Grohl played his first gig with Nirvana when they performed in Olympia, Washington. In 2006, singer Justin Hawkins announced that he has left the darkness to focus on his drug rehab. In 2006, rock made a comeback with Evanescence, scoring the top album in the Billboard 200 with The Open Door, and The Killers taking 2 spots with Sam's Town. And that's what happened today in Musica history. Yes, sir.
Chase One says, I saw Dusty wrestle at Bergeron Rodeo in Davie about 20 years ago. I was on that card in a tag team match and then also did the run-in and got hit with a chair by Terry Funk. So that was a fun time and a true pro. All 4 of them, actually.
Nice.
And luckily, I got to become better friends also with Kevin Sullivan as well.
That's nice. Very cool. Very cool. By the way, our thoughts and prayers are to Cuban-born artist El Tigre. I am not much of a reggaeton fan. I don't know anything about reggaeton, to be quite honest, but I did hear about the story. He was in his car and got shot in the head. And unfortunately, on Thursday, October 10th, the family of the reggaeton artist Jose Manuel Carvajal Zaldivar confirmed that he died at Jackson Memorial Hospital. In a statement they posted to his Instagram story, the family thanked the team doctors and nurses who attempted to save his life. Their 37-year-old musician spent the past week at the hospital after police found him inside a black Mercedes SUV with a gunshot wound at the front of his head. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent surgery and was placed on life support. Unfortunately, he did not survive. Sadly, this afternoon, El Tigre was pronounced dead and is now reunited with his beloved mother in heaven. While the news is both shocking and heartbreaking, we encourage fans of El Tigre to honor his memory by celebrating the joy he brought to so many. Turn up your music, dance, and celebrate his life. El Tigre was the sentiment of the people, and now we must keep that sentiment alive through his music and his legacy. And investigation is on the way, and they're trying to figure out who ended up doing this and why. 37. Got a long life ahead of you still at 37, man. It's a shame. It really is. Sad. Oh, man. What else? By the way, we are here at Acura Pembroke Pines where the lot is loaded. The parking lot is overflowing. There are cars everywhere. Brand new vehicles everywhere. Certified pre-owned vehicles everywhere. So come on out here and tell them that Big O sent you. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone. Trust me, they will take care of you and make it happen. What's up, Sean?
Chase One says his teacher wrestled in that event, also Jeff Rothberg. I was on the tag team that Jeff Rothberg wrestled. He broke my nose during the match.
That's funny. That's a coinkydink and funny. That is good. Ho Yoon, you are the man. Thank you, sir, as always. Appreciate you for the love. Thank you on Venmo, Cash App, or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation like Daniel Florentine did today. made a Bitcoin donation, which we love that Bitcoin donation. But you can make also a cash donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And you can use those QR codes there for Venmo or for Cash App. And we always appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Bitcoin right now is at 62,255. We'll see if it's trying to seriously pump here, or is it one of those fake pumps and then it comes back down. One of those is going to stick and it's going to run. By the way, Atlas is now up 12.5%. I love it. Where is Polis at? 8%. Love it. Load up on that Polis. Polis. I'm not a financial advisor. I just love my Polis. Love my Polis. All right. Anyway, Sean Stanley, sir. Anything in the news, by the way? I haven't seen anything, any kind of breaking news or any kind of. You guys got any kind of questions before we wrap it up here? Because I am out pretty much. John Vasquez, thank you, sir, for the super chat. And a little sticker there with a cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. So if you got any questions, send them in now, because I don't think there's any, and I don't have much more to really add, to be quite honest. It's kind of it's been a light week. It's not a good week when the Dolphins, the Canes, and Inter Miami is off. And I know some of you don't care about Inter Miami, but I do, and I care a lot. And I want them to win it all. So big void this week with nothing going on, you know. I'm kind of glad because that gives us the entire weekend off. But appreciate all of you out there. Thank you. If you sent in a Cash App or Venmo, which you can do that anytime, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Remember, you can also visit our amazing sponsors like the Big Cheese, like Caneswear, like Toyota of Hollywood, which will be there next Wednesday. Cutter's Edge Pro, Sloman's Home Security, by the way, Alarmo and Company. If you need an alarm system for your home, we are in 14 different states. So call them 1-800-ALARM-ME. Visit our amazing sponsors that always take care of you. R&M Contractors, proud sponsors of the Crypto Bro Show. If you're looking to remodel your home, reconstruct, redo whatever, the kitchen, bathroom, condo, you name it, call R&M Contractors too. They will get it done for you. We love Ray and Mike. They are absolutely phenomenal. You can call them at 305-345-3649, 305-345-3649. So visit our amazing sponsors, Welton Realm, if you're dealing with some storm issues or bankruptcy or anything like that, any kind of damage, water damage, they will send their adjusters and they will attack the insurance company. Do not even call the insurance company. Call Welton Realm, 954-966-4646. John says, I guess I missed your take on the Dolphins coach. What are your thoughts on the Heat upcoming season? You didn't miss them. It's all there, bro. It's all there. You could just go back. It's all on demand right on the website and on the coach. I mean, I talk about the coach all the time, dude. I haven't been a fan of McDaniel for a while. Ray says, do you think McDaniel will incorporate more QB design runs with Huntley since we haven't seen him much yet? No, I don't know if he will. I hope so. I wish he would have run more, and it took him 2+ years to actually start running in a game like he should. He threw to the tight end finally. So I don't know. It's really hard because he's too inconsistent. There's no method to his madness, to be quite honest. So really, I can't answer it. All right, we are out of here. We thank you all. Visit our great friends out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. They will take care of you. We will see you on Monday morning, man. 10 a.m., same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. is the Big O Show.